So sometimes when you're dealing with multiple representations, you will start with an equation. You'll be given an equation, and then you get to create a table, graph, and a story that go along with that equation. The story is my favorite part because you get to be creative. So I'm going to start with my table. Now, oftentimes you won't be given any x values. So probably the best practice, or what works best for me, is to choose one or two negative numbers for x, always include 0 for x, and then a couple of positive values as well. Okay, so you get to just choose these, that's fine. And I'm also choosing things that I think will fit on to my graph. So how do we find our y? Well, these x values can simply be plugged into your equation. So I'm going to start with -1. Y equals 2 times -1 minus 1. 2 times -1 is -2. -2 minus 1 is -3. So when x is -1, y is -3. And I'm going to continue that for each of these points. So y equals 2 times 0 minus 1. Y equals 2 times 1 minus 1. Y equals 2 times 2 minus 1. And, we'll go ahead and stop there. That's fine. So 2 times 0 is 0, minus 1, that would be -1. So when x is 0, y is -1. 2 times 1 is 2, minus 1 would be 1. When x is 1, y is also 1. 2 times 2 is 4, minus 1 is 3. When x is 2, y is 3. So now, if you watch the first video, you'll know we have some points that can simply be thrown onto the graph. So the first one is at -1, -3. So we have -1, -3. 0, -1. So 0, -1. 1, 1. So 1, 1. And let's graph all of them. 2, 3. Over 2, up 3. All right, so what we have here is a graph, a linear graph. It's a straight line. So what story could possibly go with this? Well, when you're writing the story, it could be helpful to sort of focus on a little window in time on this graph. So I'm going to focus on my y-axis and over. Okay. So it's very typical that your x value represents a time of some kind, days, months, weeks, and then y represents maybe, height, dollars, something like that. Okay. So that's kind of a safe area to be in. So what I notice is when x is 0, y is at -1. So that means if we're talking about time, at the very beginning, before the time starts to pass, we're in the negatives. Where can we be in the negatives? Well, one common place, unfortunately, is money, right? So I'm going to start with that. Now, when you're in the negatives with money, that means that you owe someone money. So I'm going to say I owed my dad $1. That's what happens here. I was in the negatives, right? And then let's see what happens next. Well, after 1 month goes by, After 1 month goes by, I am now at $1, right? After 1 month goes by, I have $1. Ooh, what happened? How did I get from -$1 to $1? Well, I must have made two. And then look what happens every month after that. Every time I go up a month, I make two more dollars. So what happens here? Well, I began saving $2 every month. This is fine. This is a story. It gives a situation that matches the table and the graph.